Yeah, so let's get some hype up. Or let's jump into the next game. So the next game will be a tournament game. This will be Siviera and Longestongos against Lapsi. So he's called Prinz, I think. So let's just call him Prinz. And Bonschlenker. So Bonschlenker is a Deathmatch player, so he plays Deathmatch since a long time. He's maybe stuck a bit in the old ways, but I think he's learning fast. Prinz is a very good Supremacy player. Like, I think he's top 10 or something. And he also played some Deathmatch. He definitely has good mechanics. He maybe needs some build orders, but other than that, there's a lot of potential for him, I think. And then we have Longest Longos, which I've never played or seen, so I cannot judge him. And the Siviera. Siviera is treaty player, he's one of the best. And treaty and deathmatch is quite similar, so I expect him to, or I expect this team to be very good. And I also think that Bonschlenker and Prinz should be a decent team, so this can be a good match. So let's see how it goes. Maybe for the civilizations, we have Japanese and British. So he wants to go for the Thiefy's reward. Japanese usually not a meta pick. I think they are pretty average or below average usually. So I'm a bit hyped on what he's going to do, what his approach is. Germans, of course, top tier pick, and Dutch also top tier pick. So I would say civilization wise, Bonschlenker's team has the edge. But I would say they have quite a huge edge. So usually with Germans, so if you are playing against Japan usually, and you know the German warwagon rush, you can just finish Japan in probably 3 minutes. And there's probably not much Japan can do. But he doesn't do the warwagon rush, maybe because he doesn't know. And yeah, so other than that, he's going for the native allies. He's also building shrines. He does a barrack start. So I'm mainly focusing on the Japanese just because I want to see what he's doing. Barrack start, consulate is important. With consulate you can... He doesn't even have this card. Oh no. What kind of deck is this? I'm intrigued, like this deck seems very sketchy. So usually you would put in the consulate card, which makes your consulate units pop out faster and the upgrades be cheaper. So you could do some consulate stuff and so on. So I think that's a very important card. Does it lag for you? Oh no, I hope my PC won't. Oh no, I should have restarted the game. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, so anyway. So this card is missing. Japan traditionally will always play defensive. Or okay, so I think I'm just going to restart my game. So let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Before my PC is going to melt, I would rather just restart the game and hope on get a good experience. Yeah. So maybe again. So I don't think Japan should win against Germans. In 80% of the time, I don't think. Like the economy, like the start is worse, the economy is worse, the units are worse because you don't have wonders. So I'm really interested to see his approach. But then again, also German is not really abusing the start from what I've seen. So it might actually not be too bad, or not as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah. So is the stream online again? Yes. Okay. So load. Let's get into it again. Game 1. So this time, like, only 1 minute happened, so I'm not going to increase the speed of the replay. And we just see how it goes. And hope there will be no lag. That would be great. Otherwise, I might have to stream with my laptop in the future. That would not be good. But I'm confident that it will work. So yeah, let's get back into it. So let's just do this first. And this is decent, yeah. So again, the barracks start. German will start with the war wagon. So usually what you want to do, you typically want to use one villager for each stable, because then it will be built faster. You typically also want to have some space between your barracks, because this means that you won't be able to maneuver in any way. He also doesn't start with church, so okay, so that's interesting. So you should always start with church. Church means that you get mercantilism, and with mercantilism you can get out all your cards and get out units fast. Yeah, basically with mercantilism you just have to start, and that's what you would have to do against Japan. Okay, that's interesting. Sorry, I'm a bit speechless. Yeah, so he's not using the mercantilism, but maybe he'll learn. Then I think if it's going to be a long game, then Siviera probably just has the best mechanics and beats everyone. So the non-aggression here is really bad for the Lenker team. They could have been way more aggressive, especially because British really do struggle at the start, in my opinion. Yeah, they just struggle at the start, so the boom is decent, but you need to invest a lot of resources into it in a pretty short time frame, and that sometimes you might need those resources for units, so you don't die. So the fact that he didn't get punished for anything, he's not even under pressure, and he can just build his stuff up freely, means he's in a very good position. Now they are doubling the Japan. So at this point, where are all the units of him? I don't think he has fencing school sent yet. No. Okay, so yeah, so his build order is pretty shitty, to be honest. But his mechanics are good, so he might. I'm pretty sure he can still come, or he can come back, especially against Japan. I don't, like I said, I don't think Japan is the best civilization. Yeah, just no. So now it will be a 2 versus 2 here, and yeah, they're basically fighting here. He's getting a lot of these Hatamato samurais. I think he's playing it right, Japan. But then you also just see the problem with Japan. Like he didn't even fight much, and he's basically out of resources. And he doesn't have any good economy to speak of, so Yeah, that's just why I don't think they are good. Yeah, so Germany probably needs about a bit more cannons and especially cavalries against the flaming arrows. Or you could honestly, oh no, you couldn't. You couldn't just do skirmisher Ulan because of the other Mados. Yeah. Oh no, the Dragoons are coming here. And it will be a 2 versus 2. Oh, there will be some action. So, this seems to be like a treaty thing. So, sending your explorer in the back of someone's base and then building a TC. I mean, I understand why you would do it, but I don't think I've ever seen a Deathmatch player do it like this. So usually you would just send a villager or something which can build, or some shogun or daimyo or something. Yeah. So yeah, so Japan is basically out of resources. But he also still got a huge army. He still can make some. Samurai. But this will be the last. Oh, I think he has a lot of cards left. So yeah, so that might be good. I just think his deck is really interesting. So he has a way different approach to Japan than I do. So I usually would not put that many unit cards in. But he's sending them all and keeping his momentum up. He's also not using too many Ashigarus. Interesting. Yeah, no, he's like I think he's a very good player because most people, like in the game before, you would see that they would struggle to keep the pressure up, while he would realize that Germany is under pressure and has low resources, and he will just capitalize on that to finish the game. So at this point, if you have this many resources, what you can do as Germans, you can just go, either you make crossbows, I mean they are shit units, but they are still units, or you could just sell a lot of wood to build it. And now, oh yeah, the factory snipe with rockets, I don't think I've ever seen that, so good game to Silviera. He's going for all the rewards he wants to get of Thief. So I think that's, yeah, I think it's basically over. So this game was over, but the replay was over. So congrats to Silviera and Longus. I think to punish Japan you would just have to play more aggressive. Then they should, in my opinion, almost always collapse because they usually cannot keep up. Oh, I didn't restart a game, so let's see if this works. But yeah, enough about the last game. I think well played. I've never seen factories being sniped by rockets, so that's a world's first for me, so thanks for that, Silviera. And for the next game we have Great Plains. So Great Plains is the classic deathmatch map. I think in vanilla it used to be the only map, or also in TUT, which was basically played by deathmatch players. So it's a real classic. I think it's a bit bigger than in vanilla. So it has a lot of natural resources, a lot of space to maneuver. It has a lot of native upgrades. So Spicy Wolf, so Silviera's Explorer. Do I really want to? Should I restart my game? I think it will be fine. It will be fine, right? So Spicy Wolf, he's a bit faster than Lope de Cortez. So he cannot get the chain trading post. Chain means with riding school that you can one-click all the calf. so you usually would bank on that. Bon Schlenker also doesn't have the card, the archaic unit training time, so he cannot insta-click Pikeman. If he would have, he could have just killed it and taken it. Oh my god. Longest Dongus has the card, so this is what he could have done. And Longest Dongus, he goes in for the rush. Let's see. Oh, he has early Spanish gold. He has skirmishes. He has this. I mean, if you're going for this kind of strategy, then I think you would put in some archaic unit attack, at least like the H3 card, which improves their combat abilities. So that's what I would do. Yeah, and he's immediately focusing the consulate to not. I don't know if he got mercantilism. I don't know if Prinz realized the value of mercantilism. So I'm not sure if he got it. And this is actually a huge deal. So losing the consulate means that you can't use all your resources. And I think he's also kind of stuck with 90 population. So he is probably in a big pickle already. So, and that's exactly, like I said, you just need to punish Japan early. And as Japan, you also really can't use your explorer like that. You just build your shrines in the back, so you don't lose them. Yeah, so this game also seems kind of over already. Some pikemen going here. Are they going for the snipes of the factory? Maybe they will do. Oh yeah, the raiders. So he's going for the factory snipes, so he can also collect their TP's rewards. I think this game is over anyway, so that's a good decision. Also, House of Civilization, which in my opinion is pretty weak because they are also pretty slow. You can punish them, and they take a long time to get set up. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, this is definitely a factory kill. Yeah, but I mean, Japan is in such a big trouble. I put them on the worst tier, and there's a reward on winning with them for a reason, and the reason is because they suck balls at the start of the game, and they are average in everything else. So, and this is what we see here. Usually I don't think the Spanish archaic rush should be too hard to deal with for most civilizations. Especially if you build your base at home like he did, you should definitely be able to stop it. Yeah, but yeah, Japan just not a good civilization. That's what I'm trying to say. Also just good of Longest Dongus to realize that he can take advantage of that. The factories finally got down with the raiders and with the pikemen. Blues Spanish also overreacted to that raid in a way. So he really needs to help his teammate. And yeah. But he's also busy on raiding here. The Spanish gold shipment actually, I think it's actually a good card. So I might actually have to put it in my deck too. Because you're sending a lot of cards in Deathmatch. So that seems like a good card. Spanish actually has a lot of options to choose from. So this card could also, so I don't, but this one here, I don't have it in my deck, but it could be decent. But usually I don't think you really need it. Yeah. Yeah, but Civiera also is a fan of just unit cards, so all players would have at least 3 unit cards. I think in Deathmatch you could get away with not that many unit cards, or at least in team games. But I mean, maybe their idea is if you're not losing momentum, then just finish the game, or force or deny his boom from going up. Then that's worth more than a bit more economy in the late game. So there's also some merit to it. So I also see the point. Yeah, just interesting approach. In team games, I usually wouldn't put that many unit cards in, but it makes sense in my opinion, and it worked out for them. I think a well-deserved victory for Longdong and Siviera. Yeah, Prinz just showed us why Japanese is generally a bad pick in Deathmatch. Yeah, so